Done. Okay, we are live now. Good evening, everyone. It's Saturday, the 13th of June, 2020. I call it Vision 2020, right? Anyway, those who have joined now, welcome, and those who's going to join us, please do so. Once you join us, we will kick off. And I have a colleague, friend. Again, it's all through the internet, by the way. Somehow, through the internet, the most social platform is the most powerful platform currently on earth, right? So before I go, or before I start with my colleague, I would say a disclaimer, because I don't want any one of you to bite me. It's mostly come from your own network and colleagues, everybody like that. If myself or my guest say something, do something which is not relevant, or which is haven't got any foundation, or by mistakenly, or by passionately, please apology in advance. Don't judge us harshly, but if you do make a comment, with due respect. To earn respect, you got to give respect, right? That is the platform we want to create. And podiatry profession, I love my profession, regardless of what the politics and politics is. Its profession is for everybody, right? As I said, today, I have a colleague of mine. He will introduce himself, where he's from, and his background, and then we'll kick off. And another thing before we kick off, if those of you who want to also see the whole program, it is actually shared on YouTube. On the YouTube, if you go and type Somusmia, popular name, you will find this live broadcast. You can share it or you can see it. So I'm streaming on two platforms, my own profile and YouTube, and I have shared in 4 groups, including Asian group. I'm going to share one Asian group. I have over 300,000 followers, I think, on the Asian group, right? If any one of you want to ask a questions, please ask a questions on my Facebook platform. The other platform, I won't see it. And I always say, if you don't ask questions, you don't get it. So good evening, my friend. Welcome to my show, whether my show, IOCP show, or podiatry show. Time and history will judge. But welcome. If you want to introduce yourself, please, your name, your background, and then we'll kick off.
No problems. Thank you so much for inviting me on. My name's Gwen Malcolm. I own the Foot Monkey Podiatry Clinic up in Scotland. My background, I was an engineer in the Royal Navy, submarine service. Came out the Navy, went through different other engineering parts, and ended up going to college. I went to Queen Margaret by accident. I was accosted by Evelyn Weir, one of the tutors there, and she told me I had to be a podiatrist. So here I am, a qualified podiatrist. I graduated as a very mature student. I graduated in 2015 and started my clinic immediately from the ashes of an old clinic, and very quickly became very, very busy, basically because of who I am. Those who know me will know already that I am actually on the autistic spectrum. I have Asperger's syndrome, so I'm not your normal person. I'm a bit different. But that's basically it. That's where we come to today. And
thank you very much for introducing yourself. I think you already got your fan now, Adam Smith.
Hey,
hi, Adam.
if
you want to say, if you want to become famous in this program, if you want to come in, just text me if you're brave enough, by the way. If you're brave enough, like Gwen, right, then you want to come, welcome. And then I've got another fan of mine as well. Some fan coming up now. MD Malik Mia. They're probably from Bangladesh, by the way. Like, as I said, there are thousands of people. God knows how many thousand will be watching later on, right? Anyway,
no
thank you. And like you said, you have autistic. I thought I was similar to yourself, but not autistic, but dyslexic. I thought. But then again, I realized maybe not, because I have overcome, and I am where I am now after 24 or 23 years. So my friend, if you have the passion, the talent, the intelligent, and the willpower, nothing can stop you.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
I came also in this profession as a mature student. So again, I came when I was 35 years old. Right?
Oh, I was older than that.
Right. So as I said, but still I struggle. I wasn't an average, with a star student, nothing like that, by the way. I came from a foundation degree to podiatry. So, that's the now. Some people are already saying hi, hello. Samantha, do you know her? Hey, I am not legend, by the way. This guy is legend. This is the guy who was brave enough to come to my show, because nobody knows what sort of question I'm going to ask, because it could be politics, or it could be question direct to his heart, right? So that's me. That's what you get from Mr. Mia. That's why not a lot of them haven't got the strength to come to my show. Anyway, I'm gonna bite. He's my friend. I'll be easy with him. Okay, Gwen. Now let's start your journey. Right? You told me about your background. Right? Now what inspired you, or what made you, if you could touch a bit about your background again, and what made you on your later on in life to become a foot doctor, a podiatrist, well known throughout the world. By the way, we are doctors, courtesy. There will be a lot of colleagues. That word I say, they're going to backbite. I don't care whatever they do. If they don't want to call themselves that, they can do whatever they like. But we are still known as a foot doctor in the UK. And throughout the world, it's a courtesy title people call podiatrist a doctor in America and all this stuff, right? That's their problem. Anyway, that's not mine. Now, start that.
Right, not a problem. Right. My early career in the submarine service, I used to fire missiles and torpedoes. That was my job.
That's good. Right? I love that.
A lot of trigonometry.
Amanda Cork, somebody.
Hey, hello. Amanda. She's a colleague of mine.
There you go. You got fan more than me, Okay, you started as a torpedo.
Yep, torpedo. It basically involves a lot of trigonometry, a lot of triangles. Now, I've got autism. My mind works differently to everybody else's. So I'm very good with triangles. I love triangles. I can do trigonometry in my head. I know the sine rule in my head, cosine rule. I don't need a calculator. Not only that, when I see things moving mechanically, I can unravel it in my head. So that was the original background. So bringing it forward into podiatry.
Mahmoudul Hassan Sujan, again, my fan. Thank you, bro. God knows where they're from. They're from Japan, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
So bringing these triangles forward. Now, when I sat down in the original...
you got another fan, by the way, that nobody will leave you alone, Abid Hussain. Abid Hussain, podiatry is such a vast profession. What is it within a podiatry? There you go. You're another friend of mine, by the way.
Yeah, I'm just getting to that. So just bear me with in this one.
Yeah.
So triangles.
Yeah,
so I went to the university in open day. I sat down and watched this video, and they had this animation of somebody walking. And all I could see in the lower limbs was triangles. Each triangle moving as it goes. Obviously, a triangle adds up to 180. And when something goes wrong, you've got to put a little bit in to bring it back up to 180. So I can remember seeing all this. Now, my brain works on triangles. So MSK, ooh. I don't need smart insoles. I can see the body moving. I do want smart insoles because, I mean, they're smart. It's a bloke thing.
Okay.
That aside. So my big passion about bringing this all forward, engineering, I just swapped mechanical and electrical engineering to bioengineering.
Okay.
Now, yeah. So basically, my passion is just the way, the fluidity of people walking, and also where it all goes wrong.
Okay.
It's hard to describe. It really is. It's like you said, it's a passion. It is a passion to see something going wrong in my head and correcting it before you even touch the patient. It's a wonderful feeling. It's great. it's hard for me to explain. I mean, this is where my
Brilliant. You've done it though. You've said it now.
Yeah.
And then jumping to podiatry. How did you? What made you think about podiatry first of all?
Chocolate biscuits.
That was an easy question.
No, this is true. Evelyn, when I went to this open day at university, I was hiding outside this door. I don't like crowds. It's another an autism thing. Yeah,
not a problem.
And this woman came out the door, took one look at me, and said, "Are you okay?" I went, "I don't know." She said, "Come inside." So she came in. I went inside, sat down, and she went to me, got a cup of tea, sat me down. What do you want to come to university for? I don't know. And she said, "Well, I'm Evelyn Weir.
Okay.
I'm a podiatrist here. How about we sit and talk about podiatry?" And she sold it to me. And then obviously we watched this video. And as soon as I watched that video, that was it. I mean, I was made for it. I was absolutely made for it. I'm not perfect. I'm far from perfect. But it kind of suited me. It was just one of these.
So which university again?
Queen Margaret University in Edinburgh.
Edinburgh. There you go. Where's the Queen Margaret University? Fan of my friend podiatrist. I'm sure they'll come in one day. Right. By the way, Scotland is slightly different than United Kingdom. Is it a 4 years course?
It is now. When I sat my degree, it was a 3 or 4 year degree course. You could leave after 3 years with your ordinary degree in podiatry, or you could stay on and do the 4th year to get your honours. Yeah. Okay. Whereas now it's a 4 year degree.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah. So that's what's your hurdle, Roxanne. Okay, you found your calling. Oh,
that's my wife.
Okay. Hello, the other half. So there you go. Thank you. I'm sure he's got a lot of fans. He's got more fans than me, by the way. So I'm a bit jealous now, right? So then you was more or less inspired by your tutor, or did you have a good, what I'm trying to say, good support before you started the course? And obviously you enjoyed the course, I know that, but I wanted to know, how was your cohort? What support? Because once they realize, I'm sure you did tell your autisticness. So did you get, what I'm trying to say, did you get a support or the help from the tutors? How did your journey begin from the beginning? Gwen? Oops. I think we have lost a communication, right? So by the way, my friend has lost the communication. So give me a momentus. Internet is down. Oh my God. Internet is down. Right. Okay. So internet is down. Unfortunately, we had a fantastic interview. So I'm still going to see if he can come with his phone, because he can always come with the phone. Gwen, if you're seeing me, Mr. Malcolm, you can come with your phone. If your Wi-Fi is down, you can use your normal phone data. So everybody bear with us. Somehow we got message that the internet is down. Okay, right. That's the technology, everyone. Sometimes we have the technology or we don't, and the technology. So I'm just waiting if anybody. Is the internet still down, by the way? If you could text me, email me, or can you reach me? Is there any other avenue you have, Gwen? So sorry, everyone. It's just my friend podiatrist, autistic podiatrist. He's internet is down. Okay. I'm going to give a few more minutes. And while he's joining, while he's trying to join us, um, right, internet just dropped. It's coming back now. Okay, I've had the message. He's coming back. So meanwhile, as I said, a lot of us are now coming back to our reality. Some of us opening our clinic. I've seen on the Facebook or other forum, LinkedIn. Some of you will on the 15th you are officially opening. Others already has opened. Others like myself who used to do essential services may turn into routine services. So hopefully our patient does come back, and whether the impact of COVID-19, how the COVID-19 will play, only God knows. I always say to a lot of my colleagues, when you first open, few weeks you will have the rush, then it will die off. That is the time you need to find when it's die off. How long can it be die off? Because remember that a lot of patients are still not coming out. So therefore, that will affect us a lot, especially in a private sector business. And most of podiatry patient are senior citizen. How long they'll be inside as well? That is another question as well. And meantime, I would urge or advise most of the private sector podiatrists, please. Okay, my friend is back. My friend is back. I had a heart attack.
So did I. So did I. So sorry for that. We had an outage here.
Well, we got a thunder. I don't know whether you could hear.
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
It's a thunder, and it's pouring like a hell in Birmingham.
Oh, geez.
Right.
We've not got the rain. We've just
we
had a
got
few
the rain,
flashes.
and I can see a rainbow.
Oh.
Yeah, I can see a rainbow. Anyway, thank you, everybody. Thank you for slightly be patient with us. Now, where were you? I when you dropped your internet, I dropped my questions.
Oh. Right. We were talking about how I got in, how I decided to become a podiatrist.
And the support.
Yeah.
How was that?
For me, it was slightly different with support-wise whilst at university, actually becoming a podiatrist, because having autism classifies you as disabled. Okay. You have it's a learning disability. It has its problems. So whilst at university, the tutors were absolutely outstanding and very, very patient with me, because I'd be the one that would come out with silly answers, because there's no such thing as a silly answer until you ask somebody with autism. And then there is a silly answer. So I had a lot of that. Going through the exams, I was allowed a separate room because I can't read something out loud. Sorry, I can't read something without reading it out loud, and I cannot answer it without talking about it. So in a big exam hall, I'd be the one sat there talking and telling everybody the answers. So I was actually locked away in my own little room while I sat my exams. So I didn't sit my exams with everybody else. University for me was completely different to most people at university. It was an experience, especially I was in my mid-40s at the time, and the average age of the class was about 18, 19. So I was always seen by the younger ones, not many of them, but a few of them,
as an uncle figure.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a bit. The amount of times when you're doing your practical sessions, the amount of time, Gwen, come here. What was it we called this? Oh, that's that. Explain it to me again. So I'd explain it in ways that I could understand, and if I could understand it, other people could. Yep. So I was called upon quite a lot like that. Yeah. So yeah, the trip to university was interesting. Was very interesting. It was good fun.
So you entered your first year, and as a autistic, they accommodated you. right?
Yeah,
What did you like?
absolutely.
What did you like about the podiatry profession when you first started, and what was your perception when you were in the course?
When I first started, I mean, just prior to, I mean, the first day you turn up and you get your little introduction and you sit down your very first lecture, I sat there thinking, what on earth? Because it was I'm trying to think what our first lecture was. I think it was anatomy. And I sat there, I thought, why am I doing this? This is silly. I'm in my 40s. Why am I here? I'm surrounded by kids. As I went through a little bit further, and especially when we got to the practical side, when we got to the practical, going into a clinic and actually playing a baby podiatrist, a little podlet, a little baby
Okay.
podiatrist, that's where it kind of all came together. After my first patient, I was going to leave because I didn't know what I was doing. And I do not like being in control. That's an autism thing. I don't like a set pathway. And this little old man sat down in front of me with, I'm sorry about this, but he had the smelliest feet I've ever experienced. And that was my first patient. That was me thinking, what am I doing here? Is this going to be my life? Am I just going to sit in front of all these feet? Well, obviously we do, but we also do other things. But it was a bit of a
Difficult.
culture shock. Yeah, it was difficult to try and perceive where all this was going to lead to becoming a podiatrist. And watching the NHS podiatrists coming around and looking down and saying, this is this, I thought, they know so much. I will never learn this. But here I am.
Okay. Like now let's ask anybody want to ask question, please, your time, because if you ask question, then I don't think about questions, right? Now, what is within podiatry that is your passion? Thank you,
Passion.
Abid.
What is my passion? Well, my passion always has been MSK. Always has been. I don't do enough of it because where my clinic is, it's more, I do a fair bit, but it's more the general podiatry side, which I enjoy.
Okay,
I
excellent.
enjoy patient contact, building a relationship, building trust. That is the fundamentals of all podiatry, sitting down and getting a patient to trust you. That is what I suppose has become my passion. I started off a small clinic. That's 5 years ago now. And it was a chiropody clinic before, the Tall Booth Chiropody Clinic.
Whereabout is your clinic now?
It's in Kirkcaldy, just in Fife.
Okay.
It's just north of Edinburgh.
All right.
Yeah. So I started it, and I don't actually live in Kirkcaldy. I live in a place called Dunfermline, but it's about 20 odd miles away. And the old chiropodist left, and I sat down and I had 12 patients. That was it. Within a month, I had 40. Within 6 months, I had 500. And now, 5 years later, I have 1,373 patients on my books.
So now let's come back to the one or two people I know in your part of the world. Bharti, have you heard of her?
Barty, Dr. B, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, good friend of mine. And there's another chap, again, it was internet friend, and then I met him the Royal College, and he's got the same practice as my name, Foot Medic, right, in Scotland, right? He's got the clinic called Foot Medic, right? So he's got good large practice as well. Now, on the MSK, you because you come from engineering background, MSKs made you more passionate because that is a complex stuff, right? Biomechanic. Don't tell me that word biomechanic. It's what I call, it's a jargon. Many people. Oh yeah. This. Thank you. It's this is the Dr. B, and the other chap was my friend. This is him. Foot clinic.
Kieran.
He owns there. Kieran.
Yes.
You know him? Thank
I've
you,
met
Adam.
him. I
Adam
met him
Smith,
at
you've been wonderful. Yeah.
yeah,
He's a very nice guy.
yeah. I met Kieran at a conference in Scotland.
Yeah. Kiran, if you're hearing, good man. Right. So, where was I? MSK.
Mhm.
Right. You now said you enjoy MSK more than, but MSK in a podiatry profession, some people make it so complex,
It doesn't have to be.
and no need.
No.
That's where I have sometimes I have an argument with those things who knows the world. I said, if you know the world, you know nothing, right? Because the more you know, the more you realize you don't know, right? So
Absolutely.
just to look at this structure, it's I don't know, as I said, but I do go and listen to them. Right? Then I decide. Remember, I said before off the air, I decide. I
Absolutely.
decide my own destiny. You can put all the scientific paper in front of me, but I believe in a God where we have a problem, right? Who God is, right? So therefore, I decide. I don't like dictation. I never worked for anybody in my lifetime. So therefore, I was born Raja. I'm going to die Raja. Raja mean king, right? So therefore, MSK, right?
Mhm.
With the MSK, as you
Mhm.
know, there's a many type of treatment. Have you expanded your knowledge? Because one of the MSK is not only orthotics and biomechanic. It could be mobilization. It could be acupuncture. And the biggest one now is the injection. Have you expanded on that?
I have. I've done the mobilization. I'm currently doing the acupuncture,
Excellent.
and I'm very keen on a lot of the different injection techniques. I have a little pot of money that I put aside. Unfortunately, it was going to be for some of the other courses,
Okay.
but unfortunately, because of COVID and
Yes.
unemployment, etc., that pot of money is now gone.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a little bit time. But I'm currently doing my acupuncture.
2021, you're going to look into expand. Because why I say that, I do a lot of MSK myself.
Mhm.
And as you know, I train like acupuncture, injection therapy, all type of injection therapy, right? PRP, that is another thing. You can PRP is quite good, plasma
Mhm.
rich therapy, right? Steroid, currently steroid is a gray area. But then if you know steroid, if you know injection technique, it's not about steroid itself, it's the injection technique, and then the drugs comes in. If you got any sort of, whether it's a formal or informal course, long as, because it's a postgraduate course, it doesn't matter where do you do it, who you do it by, this sort of thing. Any qualification is a qualification you gain. Whoever
Absolutely.
who want to endorse it or recognize it, it's their headache, it's their problem, not yours. You do the
Mhm.
course, what is suitable for you, what is going to enhance you, right? So I would recommend, the more, MSK is a big area.
Yes.
So therefore, as I said, you're doing acupuncture, you'll probably enjoy the acupuncture. And then if you do have a time, injection therapy, again, it's a modality. Because what it is, when the patient will come to you, you don't need to refer. You can do most of the thing yourself.
But that's the whole idea of why I have been expanding each year, bit by bit, gaining a bit of knowledge. Whether you use it or not, you have that knowledge. Somebody will come to you.
Somebody will come to you. So currently, you say you do a mixed bag of mainly general podiatry.
Yep.
And then MSK,
Yep.
right? So on MSK again, are you using any technology, or you are just using the old-fashioned MSK methods? The sharp eyes,
Sharp eyes,
hands,
and the
and
mouth.
the mouse.
Talk to the patient.
I always say, God gave me the lips to talk.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm going to make the most of it. So, but with general podiatry, do you see many high risk patients?
I've got I've just gone through my diary because we're reopening up. Well, we have reopened, but I'm going through it. I have 34 high risk.
Wow. So you
On a
are in
regular
that.
basis.
Okay. Now, can you explain me something you said a couple of days ago on live about COVID-19 and the PPE? If you can say, if I can share it that with the other people as well. You did talk about that. It's too much word going out, what not. In my point of view, I say use common sense. I don't know how you would
Absolutely.
see, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if you look right across the UK with PPE at the moment, you can go OTT or you can be under protected. It's use your common sense. It really is. Now, I try and insist on patients wearing a mask. Now that, whether it's a homemade one or a 3-ply, that will protect me to a point against them. Now, when the patients are coming in, I did this on one of the, I think it's probably the one you're talking about, one of the forums, that podiatrist is at most risk. It's not the patient, it's us. It's all to do with viral load.
Yes.
Now, obviously, if you've got lots of patients coming and going, if some of them, say 3 of them are asymptomatic, they come and go, it clears, but you're there for 30 minutes with that patient, and then you're there for the rest of the day in among all this potential virus. The viral load in you is more important. So using your common sense, if you use the N95 FFP2 mask, you have your protection. Yep, you've got your protection up to, is it 95%? Your Cambridge mask is the same. The only difference with the Cambridge mask, it does have the valve at the side for releasing pressure. That's giving away a bit of your, most of it comes out the front when you're talking, but it does release the pressure. So there is a puff that comes out of there that if you have it asymptomatic, that you could transfer over onto the patient. But it is all about common sense. And yet, wash your hands, keep your hands clean, keep the clinic clean, using the correct. You don't have to go OTT. I mean,
no, look, this is where
cleaning,
a lot of,
my cleaning has always been above what they recommend. So
Yeah.
the only thing I did was change to Clinical wipes from a bench.
that's it. All I do in my clinic, I put a notice at the door, one patient at a time. I don't need to. I have enough room. But it's just like you said, use common sense.
Absolutely.
And then when they come in, I've got this hand sanitizer, I've got this wipe, I've got the water, I've got the sink. Common sense, right? And then when I do the consultation, I will see what risk level they are. Then I will like protect myself. Whatever mask, whatever disposal equipment I have, I'll use face shield if I need. I will use face shield. Right? It's all about God gave you that nose, that eyes, and that taste. We got to use that ourselves. We can't just write everything down. It doesn't work. Law of gravity, law of writing does not exist. One man failure is another man's success. Even if you're my colleagues, a lot of them work in a hospital, they are top to bottom, still they can get the virus.
Yeah. Right.
We have to minimize the risks, not maximize it.
I was just about to say that. Minimize. Absolutely. Yes. It's minimize.
I have a patient of mine. She is in Birmingham. She is the infection control nurse. So she knows more than what I know about COVID-19. She advised people about this PPE and everything that. She told me once, right? She said, best protection, the only one currently is, it's like space suit. I seen it's £1,400. I forgot the name. She gave me the link in my, you wear like a mask with a filter at the back.
Yeah, air-fed mask. Yeah.
Right? It's like that. She goes, that is the gold standard. Everything else is recommendation.
Yeah.
So where do we stand? Use your common sense. Right?
Yeah.
So next topic is, you wanted to talk about past, present, and future. Now, let's start the past.
Hippocrates. How far back do you want to go? What's that? 2,500 BC?
It's you in the show. Without you, there's no show.
The history of podiatry according to an autistic podiatrist. Right.
Yes.
Hippocrates, the father of all medicine. is actually the father of podiatry. But you can go back further. The Egyptians had podiatrists, the pharaohs had podiatrists. But Hippocrates started off, he invented a tool to scrape the bottom of his feet. And that tool became a scalpel. Coming forward, the past of podiatry. I mean, British.
Your internet is gone again. I think we have lost him again, so I'll wait again. We're having a technology problem today somehow. Probably windy in Scotland. Anybody from Scotland here? Is it a weather, bad effective weather in Scotland? In Edinburgh, anybody is watching from Edinburgh? Malcolm, if you could hear me, have you lost your connection or we have? Houston, we have lost the connection. Unfortunately, again. Hopefully, he'll come back and we could. Okay. We'll just wait for him to come back, and hopefully we just got final thought from him, and we will see what's happening. He's in 5, which is worse weather-wise. Okay. Thank you, Adam. He's in which is worse weather-wise. All right. Is it a coastal town? The weather is not bad. Not sure why we are having technical difficulties. Okay. Okay. We're having a technical problem, haven't we?
There was a big flash just before it disappeared.
Oh, good.
So we've got a bit of a problem here. So I apologize. Weather, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, it's a British weather. 3W country, right? All are unpredictable. Women, wine, and weather.
So
Abu Saleh, thank you. Right, we were talking about past. Ancient, yeah.
Yeah. So modern day podiatry, or chiropody it was in, really came into effect after the one man who was 4 men, the surgeon, your dentist, your podiatrist, and your barber, as each part broke away. Back in the 1850s, we had
Abu, how are you? Thank you. I am fine. Sorry, just yeah.
We had one man that did 2 things. He did your teeth and did your feet. And then the dentist broke off, and you had the man that did the feet. And I'm trying to remember, was it Louis Durlacher, off the top of my head, who decided that podiatry, or chiropody as it was then back in the 1820s, 1830s, we should actually become independent, protected profession. But it took right through till it was just before World War I when the London Foot Hospital started.
Okay.
That was a society. And then just obviously the war came through, and in 1919 they opened up the first school. So past, bringing us forward into present, a lot of things changed over these times. There was many schools teaching, there was different qualifications. And then in the 90s, I think it was, we got the standardization for degree, but that didn't stop all the other schools carrying on going.
From diploma converting into degree, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And then we went into degree. But all the other schools have carried on going since then. So we have all these multi-tiered confusion of foot health in the UK.
It still is.
Yeah, it hasn't achieved anything.
Nothing. So it's actually caused more division amongst ourselves and bitterness, right? Yeah. But like you said, presently we have achieved independent prescribing right.
Yes.
Presently we have achieved surgical right, because soon the HCPC will recognize our surgical skill, right?
Mhm.
When I mean surgical skill, by the way, I don't want any hoo-ha from nobody. I mean surgical skill, those who does bone surgery. Anybody else can do skin surgery regardless, right?
Yeah.
Bone surgery is it's the HCP is going to making a standardized. Currently now,
Yeah.
one organization syllabus with university, but the
Yeah.
HCPC will take it over. So there won't be any argument between professional body, which is good, by the way, because
It is indeed.
otherwise the professional body tear each other up. It's my course or it's your course. Nobody's course in future. It will be one HCPC's recognized course, which I passionately believe it should be, because our profession is divided thick and thick. It's bitterness.
It is.
It's a powder politics.
Yeah.
COVID-19, for God's sake, wake up.
Yeah. Well, one thing that has come across with COVID-19 is the importance across the UK for foot health. I mean, the amount of people who are suffering, they've taken podiatrists for granted, and now they realise, oh, what an important job we actually do
Yes.
to reduce pain, reduce suffering, and keep the whole nation mobile. I mean, 80% of the population, what weighs 67 million in the UK, something like that. Yeah.
And only 11,000 podiatrists or 12,000. I'm not sure.
12,000 podiatrists. Yeah.
Which is tiny, minute
Yeah.
compared to 40 or 37,000 physios.
Yeah.
We are nothing.
And 100,000 FHPs.
That subject we don't want to touch, right?
No, there is. I don't have a problem with FHPs.
No, but I know some of the profession.
Yeah, some do. My problem is there's too wide. I mean, the institute, they train FHPs, and it takes 18 months, I believe your course is.
Yeah, or more than that, depends on how quickly they can finish their theory before they come to practice.
Yeah, so that's quite a comprehensive time. I mean,
yes. Then you got other groups. Then you have people who doesn't need qualification. You go online and buy the course, and that's it. Job
I was just about to say it. I can go into Amazon tonight and become an FHP.
You can buy the
tomorrow.
qualification. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I think that's what the big problem with the now is. I mean, foot health, 80% of 67 million people, 12,000 podiatrists cannot do.
No.
We can't do it. We can't do it.
No.
We need a proper tiered structure
we need
regulated.
We need how dentistry done it. You got a dental hygienist.
Yes.
You got dental therapist. So I believe this tier system, podiatrist, then you have a chiropodist. We keep that 3 years course chiropodist, 5 years course foot doctors, basically. And then you
mentioned the 5 years, yes.
Yeah. And then we should have 2 years diploma level, like nurses, foot health nurses, to assist me on my surgical and everything. It wouldn't be perfect, but I think we could have accommodated everybody amicably instead of tearing each other off. Oh, your daddy is better than my daddy. By the way, nobody's daddy is better than bloody my daddy. I can assure you that. Right? My daddy is better than any one of your daddy. Right?
I've mentored quite a few podiatrists coming through Foot Monkey. I work differently. I have visiting podiatrists. I don't employ associates in that. I have a room available for a visiting podiatrist. And I actually, at the moment, have a podiatry assistant.
There you go.
She did 3 years. We actually spoke about this because I
think that's how I knew about a few years ago. You probably thought I was the worst person to contact.
No, absolutely. You gave me the answer I wanted.
Because the amount of antagonists and antiviral stuff people are saying on the forum about me. I'm saying, brother, do I really need to contact this guy? I was made villain, culprit, deceit, right? I think those people who said that they themselves are culprit, they themselves are deceit because they can because they are themselves, because they, like when you spat on somebody because you cannot understand.
Right?
I've seen all this, but do I care? No. It is them who is in problem. It is them who is a low-minded, pathetic people. Right? Yeah. That's all I say. Right?
I mean, I mean. You touched on the tier system. Like I said, I've got a podiatry assistant.
They should be proud of me coming from BME, where I have achieved, regardless of whether I'm institute's member or regardless of which university I went, regardless of whether I done their course or not, they should have been proud of themselves where I have taken the profession. Instead of that, they're very good bite biter. They're very good at that.
You get that in every profession. So
Now it's not good. People
No.
know them actually. People, when I get thousands of email, right, and they're supporting me, then I realize, hey, I'm okay.
Absolutely. Well, that's why I came on, because I watch your videos.
No, I inspire. You may not like the way my passion about the profession is, but hey, isn't it best to be agreed in disagreed instead of calling names, or your way is no good, my way is good? Like as I said, my daddy is bigger than your daddy. If you got problem with my daddy, right, it's your problem, not mine.
Mhm.
If I do knee injection, so what's up to you? If you cannot do it, then it's your problem. If you cannot do knee injection, that's your problem, not mine.
Mhm.
I have expanded my knowledge. If you cannot, you cannot say my way is not wrong way, or have you been diagnosed, have you been that? Rubbish, right? What have you done to the profession? If you cannot do good to a person, don't do bad. Don't derail the person. Because as I said, I thought I was a dyslexic. In our profession, there's a many thingy. They're very good at derailing somebody. It's time to move on. It's COVID-19. I will speak as long as I am alive. I will speak passionately. This is COVID-19. It is not 2015 or 2005 when podiatry HCPC came to existence, right? It is totally different profession, right? And we got different colleges, we got different professional bodies, regardless whether you like it or hate it, right?
Mhm.
The more you hate, the more you think you are the best, the more people will think you are the worst. Simple as that.
Yeah.
You know?
So I'm going to ask you. I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah, go on then.
You touched on the tier system. The podiatrist, 5 years.
Yes.
Now, this is something that's been going through my mind as well.
Yes.
I mean, we're coming out of university at the moment. We're kind of qualified in this, kind of qualified. We're fledglings. We need experience.
Yes.
But to differentiate, to bring ourselves out as a profession, we need to stand out.
How can we stand out? I just talked to you. Last 23 years, the amount of things I had. Yeah, I'm sure you've seen on the social forum here. Everybody, it's nothing to hide. It's there, right? Mm-hmm. I've kept all this record, by the way. I have a dossier about that big. Right? I've kept the dossier because my daughter is, as I said, she's in the second year in Birmingham. I have made her, because she's seen what I went through. And my daughter did say, Dad, you are 15 years ahead of those. You are 15 years ahead of them, right? Regardless, so she is now become, hopefully she will graduate, but with COVID-19, they're having a bit of problem themselves.
Yeah.
But she has seen it. When she's seen what, social media, when your colleague, they're in their eyes, they're talking, they're thinking, they're right, my friend. I always say, when you talk, you always will think you're right, everybody else is wrong. Right? That's the problem in the profession. I'm sure you had the same thing when you, like you said, you are autistic. People, they have to accommodate you certain way. You think certain way. If we all think same, then world would stand still. We have to have different ideology, different mindset, right? I may like it or I may dislike it, but that's the problem. We should not derail a profession. If somebody want to go that way, if you don't like that way, why you are trying to derail them? You do your stuff, right? So this is my passionate. This is where I believe that, like I said, off the record, I shared something which a body done to us, and it's not good. It's immature.
It is. It is. You probably notice some of the forums I'm not very active on. It's because of that. I tend to find sometimes that people could be very immature.
very
and
mature.
they know better. And you're
They
like,
know better.
really?
You see, the problem with them, right? When I see live, they're totally different person.
Yeah.
Right.
Internet terrorists.
Yeah.
Yep. Keyboard warriors.
Nothing better to do. Knowledge is primitive knowledge. That's all I say. It's if you read that definition, you'll be you'll. I don't want to say it on the head. It's with psycho, whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
right? But this is not good. We need to nourish our youngsters. If a profession want to go a certain way, if I don't want to go with that way, fair enough. Let them go. One day I may join them, right? But no good derailing them. That's all I'm trying to say to
Yeah.
all the profession. You have your stand. You done your courses. If somebody else done that courses, you may not like it. You can't do nothing about it. Law of the land,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So what do you see the future now?
I'm like you. I see this 5-year degree. Now, there's no way around it. We can't get away from the skin scraping and the toenail clipping, because they'll lead into things like neurovascular corns, nail surgery, that sort of thing. So we've got to do that core. And what my idea, what would bring us forward more is 2 to 3 years to that level, and then decide, obviously you do the other parts, like you do your introduction into MSK, nail surgery itself, which is a completely different path, etc. And then the last 2 years, you specialize. So we have, like doctors themselves, you have a GP, you have the whole range.
Foundation, yeah, GP they have a foundation. After they qualify, they have a foundation year.
Yes.
Same with dentists. They have a foundation year. We should have, my philosophy is, we do 3 years degree, whatever. Then we have 2-year foundation year.
Yep.
Right? Then they leave with a doctorate in pediatric medicine or master in whatever you want to call it. I don't care. Right? But we have 5 years course, but 3 years in the university and 2 years off the university, like practical.
Yeah.
Right? And then
then
they get the qualification, and within then 5 years all medicine comes up, the surgery, the injection, the whole whack. But then if you want to do bone surgery, then if you want to do MSK, you have another speciality if you want to go into it.
Yeah.
Right? That is how I see it. Right? But not the way that my way is the right way, your way is the right way. I'm sorry, it's not going to sell. This is 2020. Mr. Mia vision has changed. You cannot dictate Mr. Mia. That day is over, right? The BME's day is BME, right? No, because it's not right. It's not right. When my daughter sin, well, she imagine if my daughter saw, and I said to her, you tell your teachers then, if your lecturers, if they belong to those group of people they associate, tell them in front of the face. Don't backbite it. Tell them in front of their face. Right? Then either they will learn from their mistake, or if they got little bit of humanity, they won't brag about clinical scientists, clinical data, evidence-based medicine, this and that. We all know evidence-based medicine. Nobody needs to teach us that. Right? But you can't just rub it to somebody. You may like that. Good luck to you. But don't impose the things to me.
Yeah.
This is the problem within the profession. But then I realize I got a lot of colleagues who is a medic as well. They go, it's worse in medical field as well.
Oh, geez.
It's not only our profession. So how do you see, like you said, you want to see the 5 years perspective? Would it be no? I never heard any university. But there again, by the way, remember the article I said, the future of training of medicine, future will change. Some people didn't like that, right? Whether you like it or hate it, it will change. It's not going to stop for you, by the way. It will change.
Yep.
Right.
Well, this is the thing. We are in this developmental stage now where, like in Scotland, we changed the 4-year degree.
Yeah.
Things are moving forward, and we need to find where the profession needs to go. Do we have this tiered system where the podiatrist is at the top of its game, which means if you want to become a podiatrist, it is going to be 5 years of your life training. Very similar to what we're doing at the moment. We do our degree and then we do our acupuncture, we do all the bits and pieces to add on. That all takes time. So we're already, in a way, doing our 5 years. But that should actually be taught as a base level.
Our course, whether in UK 3 years, is 5 years condensed. So because I see my daughter, so much module they have to go through within that 3 years. In Scotland, you got 4 years, fair enough, slightly relaxed. Why don't we make it to 5 years? Like as I said, make it 3 years, but then give option. If somebody want to drop out after 3 years with chiropody degree, so they stay in that level. But if you want to become a foot doctor, you go finish this. Give the choice. I believe in choice. So then there is no argument. There is no argument whatsoever. Yes, somebody wrote, I think I agree with thinking. So would we have benefited from more than 1,000 hours of clinic training at the uni? Why not? Why not? You know?
I believe
1,000.
1,000 hours. I can't remember what the actual, when I did my degree. Amanda was the year above me. She graduated the year. She did her 4 years, so we both graduated the same year.
Okay.
Because I only did the 3 years because of personal problems. Plus, anyway, I can't remember how many hours we did, but 1,000 hours clinical hours. That gives you your foundation for the rest of your career. I mean, not everybody can pick up a scalpel and delicately take out a corn. Some butchers can.
Yes.
But to do it properly, so the patient, there's not blood everywhere.
Barber became surgeon. We should know the history of surgeon, by the way.
Absolutely. Barber became surgeon. He became a podiatrist. He also became a dentist.
Yes.
And he also cut hair.
Yes.
I mean, that foundation part. But at the same time, it also, if you did more placements in the first 3 year foundation, like within the NHS, with a consultant podiatrist, top of his tree, with the MSK specialist, it would give you more scope to actually move and wriggle. So when you did your further couple of years, then you had a bigger insight of how everything. I'm not explaining it very well. In my head, I can see it.
I understand what you're saying. In your head, I know exactly what you're trying to see. It's so her question was.
It gives us all choices.
Yeah, her question was 1,000 clinic hours thought. Yes, within the 5 years, you could do, within the 3 years, you can do 1,000 hours clinical thinking. Yeah. Currently, as my daughter said, the clinical start in the second year. Why cannot we start on the first year in a minute, in a minute way?
Yeah, I mean, when I did my degree, our clinic hour started 6 weeks into the degree.
Okay, so I think with my daughter, they didn't do clinical, or I don't know if they did, if the clinical hour counted on the first day. I need to find out from her.
We were treating patients after 6 weeks.
And why not?
Exactly. Otherwise, if you're not doing that,
we had to change. We had to modernize. People were saying remote consultation. Remote consultation is now the norm. It will be the norm. I am an independent prescriber. I need to say, I need to see the patient. I need to see you in a Glasgow. You got, for example, motor neuroma pain. I can't inject, but I'm sure I can give you an anti-inflammatory tablet, right? By doing remote consultation. Yeah. So yes, remote consultation is the way forward. A lot of things in life is the way forward, whether we like it or hate it. Some people philosophy. Others ain't gonna buy to others people who are decision makers. They will make the decision according to what is the right time, right moment for that person. In future of medicine, they may not even go to theater. They may do operation on virtual stuff. You know, they put Google on and they may do stitches on the virtual stuff.
We never know what's coming in the future. That's why it's the future.
But I do believe future is bright.
I think it is. I think it is. I do think because of this lockdown, you talked about the remote consultations. A lot of GPs now do not want to go back to face.
Yes.
That it's more efficient to be remote in
Yes.
their eyes. Yeah.
Yes.
So they can see more patients more efficiently. That
Yes.
I understand. But putting that up against other medical professions like podiatry, I mean, remote, I decided not to do the remote apart from a telephone call, a quick telephone call.
Podiatry and physios, you cannot do, but you can do the consultation. This is where I said, all of us had to assess the patient. The way I work, patient will come if the initial consultation, right? They will come. I'll assess it and then I'll say, okay, you need cone removal or you need biomechanic. I will now decide what sort of treatment plan they fall in. This thing remotely can be done. First initial consultation.
Oh, well, actually, yes. Thinking about it, that's exactly what I've been doing for the past 10, 12 weeks.
That's what remote consultation is. It's just a bloody different name. Nothing else. We're not inventing new wheels. It's just before the patient comes in, they have a 10 minutes chat with you. Are you COVID-19? If we are sorry, I don't want to see you. Right?
Remote consultation.
That's it. Remote consultation. It's not a rocket science, or it's not something we are inventing. It's already there. It's just you are filtering the patient. That's the word I'm trying to say. You are filtering it. Is it worth them coming in for removing the cone? Or is it something they don't need to come to you?
Yeah.
Right. That's what I meant. I'm sorry if I couldn't explain you what consultation. Remote consultation mean.
That when we were talking about it, the penny actually dropped that I can't say it. I actually have been doing remote consultations because of COVID lately. I
take telephone and whether they need to come to the clinic or not. That is what called. That is a remote consultation. This is telephone, and the face-to-face, which is now video consultation, that may replace face-to-face consultation, but not physical. There's a difference. Physical touch and face-to-face touch and telephone touch. My friend, 3 different things. We need to differentiate 3 different consultation.
We do. Yeah.
That's something. It will evolve. It's not something I said I could do it. I'm brilliant at. We don't know. The COVID-19 now taught us a lot of things. Suddenly, even the platform you and me now, it's COVID-19. We've discovered that platform, how to talk to each other.
Absolutely. Yep. Our family does it because I've got family over the world, and
I've got a large family, my friend. If they all come in, the amount of fine I'll get will keep up to a couple of £100,000. So we are all on the Facebook, all on the forum. Anyway, you got 2 minutes.
Okay.
Any your last thoughts? Quickly, 1 hour gone. Right. Any message, any thought, anything we said, you need to rephrase it. Any strong message I said, Somis, you shouldn't have said that. Right. So I'll take it in the chin. Right. So anything on that? Anything which you disagree with me?
No, I actually agree with a lot. I mean, slightly different views, but I agree 100%, especially with the degree part, expanding it out and bringing ourselves forward, increasing our training to become better practitioners before, instead of being a basic podiatrist.
And it's better being fragmented, like we all broken bits and pieces.
I mean, like I said, we've got 67 million people, 12,000 podiatrists. We can't see everybody.
For professional body, by the way.
So it needs a little bit restructuring, a little bit playing with, and we need to get rid of the internet courses that you buy your qualifications, buy a pair of clippers, go out and.
But my argument, Gwen, the law allows them, unless we change the law.
The law needs to change.
Yeah, because the law allowed them.
Yeah.
Unless the law, this is where I say to all this professional body, let's come to a common understanding. We may have our differences. Let's come to a common understanding for the sake of the profession. Leave your ego, your brain of ego, somewhere else. And because the more ego have, you are loser, not the other party. FHP is not loser,
Absolutely.
by the way.
Yep.
We are the loser
We are
because of
indeed.
our ego.
Ego.
Right?
That's why I've got a visiting podiatry assistant. I'm not
How
proud.
many of 12Ks are actually on tools? That's a good question to you.
That's Adam, that's a
Yeah.
fantastic question. I believe through just using the College of Podiatry numbers, I think there's only about 9,000 actually on the tools. But I don't know how true that is. I can remember reading it not that long ago. Out of the 12,000 registered podiatrists, only about 9,000 are fully practicing, which is not a
Possibly,
lot. Which is not a
because
lot.
I have trained myself a lot of injectors, a lot of PRP, a lot of Botox. God no biomechanic. I do acupuncture course, biomechanic, mobilization, you name it. I'm also first aid instructor.
Mhm.
I think 10% within a couple of years kaput. Then another 20% goes out of the window.
Yep.
Only few survive, or fittest survive, if
The
it's the
fittest
right
will
word.
survive.
If
Mhm.
it's the right word I use, I don't know.
Darwinism. Yep, Darwinism. Strongest survive. Strongest and
Okay.
fittest.
Adam, my friend, is coming thick as fast now. Now we want to go. You asking so much question, eh? And then part-time lecturing. Why not? I don't understand your question.
I do.
What is it?
Eh,
Is it controversial?
no, not at all. Not at all. It's I've applied for a job.
Oh, good
Yeah,
man.
part time. No, it's part time. Doesn't affect my clinic business.
Okay.
The clinic business still carries on. I've just
In what? In podiatry or in a different aspect?
no in podiatry,
Excellent.
in education.
And education. Yeah, I did. As I said, I when I wanted to do, the adult learning, because if you want to teach, you have to still have the teaching certificate,
Yes.
right? So I did my because I was doing a lot of lectures long time ago, but I didn't have that. So 3 years ago, one of my colleagues said, "Come on, Samus, man, you are the lawmaker, and you shouldn't break the law. At least get your teaching qualification." Okay, now more Adam, my Adam friend.
Oh, geez.
Many registered won't be full-time
Full
working.
time working.
Correct.
That's correct.
Correct,
Yeah.
my friend Adam.
It's
I
like
predict. Sorry.
yes, it's like what you said actually about the lecturers. The lecturers are part time working as well. They lecture and they work. Wasn't that? You'd be amazing at it. Okay, Adam. I'll talk to you about that later. The
Adam, we'll
question,
talk off the record.
yeah, the questions have come through a bit fragmented.
Yeah. Okay. So, okay, then. So you never told me that. So your future is now you're teaching them. Now let's see on your teaching. What would be your main subject, or what subject you are
Oh,
thinking to teach?
I have no idea. Personally, like we spoke of at the very beginning, what is my passion? My passion is patient contact. That's what it's turned into be. Whether it is what I enjoy, i.e., the MSK, whether it's nail surgery, whether it's whatnot, it's the patient contact. I would love to sit in and teach podlets clinical skills in a clinic. That's what I'd love to do.
Well,
Anything on top of that is a bonus.
well, my future plan is, if I don't get stroke off, because I got so much, because I'm a maverick, and I've got so much people who are stabbing at the back. They'll probably have a thingy, what, ice cream with nice vanilla on it when they really get rid of me, right? My future plan is I'm going to study a law, right? And I want to defend the undefendable, because since the HCPC registration, every week I spend an hour with fitness and practice. Every week I spend an hour on HCP's fitness and practice
All right.
cases.
Okay.
Yeah. So in future, when I do retire, I want to defend the undefendable.
Oh.
That's my, if God willing, if my health is okay, And if I have a brain to do LLB.
Well, every everybody should have a goal to shoot for. If you do not have a goal, you will
Then you don't
never
have
get
it.
anywhere.
If you don't have a dream, then
Absolutely.
there is no reality, because we currently probably are living in the dream. You and me could be in the dream now.
More than likely, yes. I agree with you there.
Because
Adam, sorry,
Adam. Yeah.
Adam just clarified the question. What he
Okay.
meant was, how many of the 12,000 are full-time working pods? Probably not many.
Not many,
Full-time,
Adam, because according to my statistic with IOCP, as you know, we are mainly private. 99% of our members are private, 10% with the NHS. So even within ourselves, even those private members, I think they are keeping membership for many reasons. How many of them are actually full-time practice or actually a owner of a practice? We haven't surveyed, by the way.
I think that's quite a good thing to survey. That's quite a good question, that one from Adam.
Adam, I'll probably ask the next time we have a board meeting. I'll probably ask that questions to send around to find out.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to find out that, because you do find a lot of private podiatrists only work part-time.
Yes.
And a lot of NHS pods job share.
Yep.
So how many actually are full-time? There's 12,000 podiatrists, but they're probably only filling 7,000 or 8,000 positions.
Yeah.
And then you've got your teaching staff, etc. And then your retired ones and the clinic owners.
Then another naive question I have. By the way, this is my personal, nothing to do with IOCP. Whatever I'm saying is my personal. So beware anybody want to backbite or anything like that. I believe there should be less podiatry school in the UK. That's my belief. Because if it's less podiatry school in the UK, then there will be more demand, right? People want to, and 5 years course, then you will see, just like dentistry, medicine, they would have application to come in, and you will see the, the enhancement and the respect and the value of the podiatrist risen up top. That's my view.
Yeah. Well, on top of that, if the NHS, obviously the NHS isn't an ending money pot, if they did the same with podiatrists as they did with dentists, they fund the clinic.
Yeah.
The person who working there works for themselves.
Yeah.
You would have a much better structure, because it's worked with dentistry. It is worked with dentistry, and it becomes more efficient and cheaper to run.
I think our forefather didn't go on that line, so therefore they made mistake on that aspect. Because we had a fragmented profession from the beginning. Yes. There was when I looked at the history of podiatry, there was never a one voice, and I don't think so in my lifetime I will see that. Right? So that's why I said that we are in a dark age. We have to do what is good for our own professional body or professional body itself, to take the profession as they fit for the purpose for themselves, right?
Yeah.
So we are doing as a IOCP, we are doing the path we believe our way. Our colleague may not share our way, but we are not stopping them.
No.
What they're doing, right? We're not shouting, we're not saying all this stuff, but they're making the noise. So I say it, empty vessel makes the loudest noise. Full vessel don't make the noise.
We just need some clarification of where it's all supposed to be going. I mean, if we could just get some clarification and a proper structure, and like you said, less schools teaching, you got more chance of filling the positions, better education, move forward.
You know what? I am a member of the Royal College of Physicians Surgeons in Glasgow. That is another biggest achievement in the UK podiatry profession ever had. My hats off to those people who did it, regardless of which professional body they are. My hats off to them, right? They took it to a recognizable stand. Throughout the world, when I go and when I say member of the Royal College, oh, doctor, how are you? Shake my hand. Which is fantastic. That's what I am, by the way.
I mean, you're quite right. I mean, you had a goal to go for, and that's it. I mean, we should all have.
But I'm really disappointed. I thought the Royal College will come up and unite us between the egos and non-egos, and we have one qualification, regardless if you're podiatric surgery or MSK. It's one podiatrist, but speciality. Nothing about egos. We should get rid of the ego-ness. Kaput. You are a podiatrist, you can do whatever you like, provided you have certain skill. Fair enough. But the skill cannot be dictated or imposed.
No. Work within your scope of practice.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
that scope has to be reachable, not a closed door that I pick elite of the elite. God made us equal, right? Look throughout the world what's happening in medicine. The more elitists you make, what about the non-elitists? Currently with COVID-19, one of my podiatrist friend is working on A&E.
Yeah.
So time to those, you hear me?
Yeah.
So I'm sure if your Edinburgh lecturers or whoever is listening to that, I'm sure they will know I am speaking not negatively. I'm speaking from my heart passionately. Please, you are the decision makers. If they don't make it, bang for it like me. I am coming on social media. I am saying it exactly what it needs to be said. People may agree or disagree, but isn't it best to be agree to disagree?
It is indeed. You can take a middle path there. You can whoever has a great idea, whoever has a bad idea.
You can pick.
You can pick and choose the best bits of everything.
Yes, and then make. This is what I thought by becoming the royal member of the Royal College of Physicians and Surgeons of Glasgow. They will do something to the professional body. Hey, you have your professional body, not to worry, but think big, right? Think your profession is bigger than you are. You are a foot doctors. Think about that, right? Think how you can enhance your practice, how you enhance your status in profession. We have to have a status in profession. Right? The argument will come up. If we don't start a debate, then it won't start. You have to start a debate. You will have two platforms, two group will argue passionately, then you'll have the middle ones.
Yeah.
And from the two ones, the negative and the positive one, you will see they break up and they come to the middle ground. I'm sure in your lifetime you've seen that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and then you got the middle one.
Yeah.
So I hope those people who in a decision making, Gwen, myself, we are both, I will say, a different podiatrist from different group. I'm from ethnic minority. Probably first Bengali ever came to podiatry profession when I graduated. Gwen, autistic. I thought I came from who left school at 14, didn't do my GCSE, anything like that. I made it to. I'm grateful to the profession. I made it to where I am. Give credit where credit is due.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It makes you better. It makes you better. If you don't see that, and if all podiatrists, if you don't see the vision of somebody else, or if you don't share this their ideology, right? You may not like their ideology, but let them have their ideology, benefit of the profession.
Yeah.
So thank you, Malcolm. And you got 1 more minute because my friend Adam stopped you. Your last wish and your last wishes to all your friends. And how did you, was it worthwhile coming to my?
Oh, absolutely. Definitely. Definitely. I've watched a few of your other shows. Very interesting. I watch Pod Chat and I watch all the others. It's nice to share. Sometimes we can get stuck in our own little bubbles, like you said, because about people's attitudes and people's beliefs. We get stuck in our own little bubbles. Sometimes it's nice to actually, instead of bouncing ideas off of local podiatrists, sometimes it's nice to actually come to somebody else like yourself, televise it across. No doubt my phone will go mad very shortly with all my friends.
It will.
Yes, it will. It will. Oh, you should have said this. Oh, you were wrong about that. Well, that's
what it is. That's the debate. Because when you say something controversial, that brings headline news, by the way.
It is. It is. I mean,
whether it's good or bad, history will tell.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're all different people.
Yes.
Every single one of us are different. We've all got our own ideas how things should be done. Nobody's all right and nobody's all wrong. It's just acceptance of everything else. We have to accept that people have all different ideas, and that's what makes us us. And that's what drew us to a profession like podiatry. Because, to be honest with you, who wants to work with feet?
Nobody. It is. I'll give you an example how important feet is. When I first qualified, my first home visit was an Indian gentleman, Sikh background. I don't know whether you know Sikh. Those
Yep.
they wear turbans,
Mhm.
right? Sikh background. But when he booked an appointment on with me, I thought he was, because he gave me his a career name when he was in that career, and he spoke a Queen English. He was 79 years old gentleman, but I thought I'm going and knock as a white man's house, right? So when he opened the door, Mr. Singh, with a Queen's English, perfect English, 79 years old gentleman, went to his room, and he said, "My son, I was in British Army for all of his lifetime." He was in British Army. So that's why his English was such a perfect English.
Perfect. Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So he said to me, then we went to talk about culturally. He said, "My son, you are in a privileged profession." I said, "Sir, why?" You said, "You are touching my foot." In our culture, those people who bow and touch the foot is a privileged person. I said, "Thank you very much, sir." So there you go, Gwen. Remember that.
I shall
We are
remember that.
yes, we are in our culture. When we see a senior person, we bow to their foot,
Feet. Yeah.
right? So this is, and from that day on, I said, I want to be that. I want to make the maximum of my profession.
Yeah.
Then I had that goal and vision. So it wasn't all gloom and doom. It was. It was. Thank you very much.
No,
Hopefully,
thank you.
next time we may catch up, or reflection could be a couple of after COVID-19 over. I probably will bring you and do reflection, or bring some people from Scotland all together and do reflection on Scotland with after COVID-19. I think that
Absolutely.
would
That
be
sounds good.
nice.
Yeah. Well, thank you for inviting me on. It's been a very interesting night.
Thank you.
It's been good.
Again, all my colleague, no hard feeling. What I said, it came from my passion. No disrespect to no one. So
No.
please don't take it as a hard. It's just I believe passionately, right? And no hard feeling. And as I said, if myself or Gwen said something, and if it's not right, or if it's irrelevant, or if it's mistaken, or passionately come out from our mouth, right? Please take our apology in advance. And
Absolutely.
thank you very much. Thank you for watching. And hopefully, I'll see you next show. Bye bye. You can
Bye for
also
now.
go bye bye now. Thank you very much. Let's just end that.